hope you're having a wonderful day. I was just thinking about my old self when I was younger, and I was quite shy, but I'm one of those introvert extrovert people, so I can be very accommodating and come off as an extrovert because I have a lot of like an empathic side to me where I just want to make people feel very comfortable, and so I can come off very extroverted, but I actually get drained quite easily by people and I need to recharge, and you might relate to that. So I have that introvert part of me because I really love my alone time. But today's video, I was thinking I would share with you about taking some risks, not risks in terms of safety risks, but things that feel risky because of our ego. Like, for example, maybe you have some things in your life that you really want to try, but you're afraid to try because you might feel like you might look silly, or you might feel dumb because you're going to be a beginner, or whatever the case. But it's holding you back from trying it or even thinking about doing it because, you don't want to take that risk. And so it's funny because when I think about myself when I was younger, I was quite shy about taking certain risks, but I've always had this perspective about my mortality. I know that it can sound funny, but I always felt like I know how short life is, and my goodness, why would I waste any time worrying about what other people think? Although I'm telling you right now, I really was invested in that, so in feeling worried about what people would think, and it did hold me back a lot. But when it didn't, I'm going to tell you my trick. And the trick I used back then is not the same trick I use now to give myself permission to try things. So when I was younger, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because recently one of my sisters brought up this story I'm about to share with you, which is we were laughing about it because she was there witnessing my daring. So what I would do when I was younger is I would dare myself to do things. Like, so when I wanted to do something really bad, but was like, oh gosh, this is so embarrassing, or as the kids nowadays would say, cringy. My kids would say cringy. I would just be like, well, I'm going to dare myself, and then it's fun. Then it's funny and fun and whatever. So I was probably about 18 years old, and I wanted to try this ballet class. Or I just wanted to try ballet. I was like, I want to try it. And if you know anything about ballet, typically you don't have to see this thing. You don't have to do anything, but usually you take ballet classes when you're a little kid. And that's when you learn. And so by the time you're 18, you either don't do it, or you have done it and you know exactly all the crazy moves. You know exactly all the names for things, and you know how to do it, and you have your posture, and you know how to spot, spotting is when you like look at a spot on the wall and then you can twirl and not get dizzy. Well, I looked up a beginning ballet class, and then I thought, I'm going to dare myself to go. And I tried to get my sister to come with me, and so she came with me. And we walked in, and it was all little kids. And I mean little kids. And I live in a small town, so like literally anybody could have walked by. But I said, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to look stupid. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know the names of these moves. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And my sister was like, hell no, I'm not going to do it. So she sat down in the corner, and all these little girls knew each other, and they had all their fancy gear on, and you know, I just was wearing I tried to look somewhat, well, let's be real. I probably had a leotard on, but I don't know what I had on, to be honest. And I was a lot older. I was 18 at the time, so, and I did not know anything. So it was humiliating just being in there. I couldn't even take myself serious, but I tried. And my sister was mortified. She was just sitting there. I'm like, I think she might have tried. She stood there with me for a second, and then she's like, hell no. So anyways, long story short, it was hilarious. I mean, it was actually pretty intense, and I was just trying my best to keep up, and the spotting was hilarious because I don't know how to spot, and so I was trying to fake it like I knew what I was doing, and I was like, you know, twirling and getting super dizzy and just pretending like I knew what was up. Long story short, so glad I did it. My sister still laughs about it to this day, and I crack up on it, and I just love that I didn't hold myself back. I wanted to try it. I didn't want any more time to go by before I tried it. It's not like I wanted to be a ballerina, but I thought, why not? I'm gonna try it. So now I look back on stories like that, because I have quite a few. And I think as I'm getting older, I am noticing that I do care less, but I still care, you know? And so now, and nowadays, the daring myself doesn't work like it used to. I have to use different languaging for my brain now. My brain doesn't fall for that. I dare you. I mean, maybe it would if I could probably get back into that mindset maybe. But what I do now is I say, you know, life is too short, and I'm going to give myself permission to live it to the fullest. And I'm sharing this with you today, not just for your entertainment, but hopefully it's a little entertaining. I share this with you today because I wonder how often you're holding yourself back. Maybe you can ask yourself this. And how can you allow yourself? Oh, good. I thought my phone just gave me a warning that I have low battery. First of all, what are things that you are deep down wanting to try, but are conveniently putting off because our brains are funny like that, right? Maybe we make excuses. We'll say, oh, I really would love to try watercolor painting, or really love to learn how to do ceramics, or paint, or possibly take a yoga class, or try aerial yoga, or try surfing, or try anything, right? Singing. Oh, but I don't want to look silly deep down. And so we'll say, oh, it's too expensive, or I don't have time to do this or that, right? And so my question is, how much more time are you going to let go by making those excuses and not allowing yourself permission to try those things? Because time just keeps ticking by, let me tell you. And not to be morbid, but we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know how much time we have on this planet, each one of us. And so, my goodness, please live your life to the fullest and give yourself permission to try these things that you want to try. Recently, probably about a month ago, I caught myself procrastinating on something I was thinking. I noticed that for the past year I had been thinking, I really want to go back to my yoga studio that does hot yoga, and then they have all these other really fun classes like bar, which is like ballet, but without all the crazy moves. I love bar. And they have fun things like yoga sculpt, where you do yoga and then you also work out with weights and things. So they have all sorts of fun, different classes. And I thought, oh gosh, it's been like so many years since I've been in a class like that. I don't want to go. but you know, that was very subconscious. I was more like, oh, I don't want to spend the money, or oh, I probably wouldn't go, I don't have time. And you know what? I caught it and I said, you know what? No, baby steps. This is what I work with my clients on all the time too, by the way. The first step is go and check it out. The second step is maybe if you think it looks cool, take a class, but you don't have to do it. Just break it up into little baby steps. And I did it. I went to the first class and I told myself, you know, if you don't like it, you can always leave. And I am so thrilled that I did it, because now I've been going regularly. And I think, oh my gosh, all those fears I had about not being able to do it, maybe not being as strong, maybe I'll look stupid, maybe all the things. No. Yeah, it was harder the first couple days, but I'm so happy I gave myself permission. I'm just so happy that I did that. And I have other things that I want to do, you know. I want to get back into watercolor painting at some point, and other artwork, other types of creativity. And so I'm making this video for you today just to allow you to ponder what are some things that sound fun to you, or maybe just intriguing to you. It doesn't even have to sound fun, that you can look at and allow yourself to try. And then if you need help breaking it into baby steps so it doesn't sound so intimidating, reach out to me, because that's what I love helping people with. But I'm going to leave you with that. I think I see my husband. He's out there surfing. Ooh, and the tide is coming up. I hope my stuff is still on the sand. Anyways, if you liked this video, I would love if you would subscribe, because I have more to come for you, and you can check out the other videos. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love you to comment what it is you're going to dare yourself to try, or give yourself permission to try. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye.